Hey everybody, this is Coburn C Capshaw / at Mr. Smiles a Lot, and I'm back with another Let's Talk Media LLC. This time it's going to be a video and audio podcast. So I'm using both different speakers. I'm using my lavalier mic, and I'm also using my Ceramonic my boom mic here. So I hope those are radio frequencies. It took me almost like an hour and a half to figure out how to really do this. I realized that my voice on the voice recording might sound a little bit different than the audio recording, and I'm okay with that as long as I can get both out and do both at the same time, which I think is pretty cool for the fact that I actually can. So anyway, let's start. We're going to go back to that old website that we looked at a long time ago as to why it's important for a father to be in their child's life. So why it's important for a father to be in their child's life. Let's see. Where was that one website I had? What was this it? No, I think it was called because if I'm correct, it was called something to something, right? Let's see. I have a feeling this is that one. What was the name of that website, guys? I'm so sorry. I can't even remember. So why is it important for a child to be in father's life? Or a father to be in a child's life? Hold on 1 second. There we go. Here it is. Right? 0 to 3. Here it was. Here, guys. I found it. Hold on 1 second. I found it. 0 to 3. Where was that? Oops, hold on. I just had it. Sorry, guys. Hold on. It's taking me forever to get to it. 1 second. Here we go, guys. I'm so sorry. So I think the last play... It's a podcast though, right? So sorry, that takes a minute sometimes. So the last place that we left off was... I want to say it was the benefit is mutual. Or was it... No, actually, no. Last one was getting involved, advice for fathers. So the last place we... left off was pay attention to your baby's cues. Over time, babies develop their own ways of telling you what they need through a particular cry, look, or movement. By spending time caring for and playing with your baby, you'll start to decode their cues. Here it is. Okay, so next up, Daddy Matters. Here we go. Series launches opens dialogues on importance of fathers. 0 to 3. Okay, so Washington, D.C. 0 to 3, and David LaGuardia Cross have teamed up to create a special web series to engage parents will level the conversation about why dads matter. Starting June 2nd, the 4-part video series exclusive to Facebook. So this is just talking about them. So, about 0 to 3. Okay, so I'm sorry. This podcast is all over the place, guys. I'm just trying to really find good concrete evidence. Let's find another... Why fatherhood engagement matters. Here we go. Here's another good one. Okay, so why fatherhood engagement matters. When it comes to the growth and development of young children, fatherhood engagement is an incredibly important influencer. In fact, research has shown that children benefit directly from the involvement of a father figure in their lives, especially an engaged father. An engaged father is defined as one who feels responsible for and behaves responsibly toward his child, is emotionally engaged and physically accessible, provides material support to sustain the child's needs, is involved in child care, and exerts influence in child rearing decisions. But especially in today's world, the absence of fatherhood engagement or of a father at all has become a growing problem. According to the Development of Education, 1 out of every 3 children in America live in a home without their biological father present. Furthermore, according to Fathers of Good, research into the family continues to confirm the importance of 2 parents at the best basis for bringing up children. But one common problem is in the last few decades is the absence of fathers and the corresponding rise of families headed by single mothers. So why is it important for father figures to be present in their children's lives? And why does fatherhood engagement matter so much? Here are the top reasons. Here we go. Impact on early development. Now, I'm pretty sure in my last podcast that was just an audio one. We did talk about this. And like I said, just from seeing how my son, Jack, has developed and how well he's doing with cognitive, being smart, listening to what we have to say when we actually do something or ask him to tell him to do something. He pays attention. He's getting better at surroundings. He's getting way more coordinated. Like today when I took him out to the park this morning, or whatever, before his nap, he actually, like, out of nowhere, just walked over to this like little rock wall, this concrete rock wall, put himself up on the first flight, just boom, boom. I'm like, okay, you're getting more coordinated, like more balanced, good job. And then he went up the second one, and I kind of put my hands like here and here, just so that way he wouldn't fall off. And then like he had a little bit of trouble with the third one, so I got that. And then next thing I know, he had to get him up on the fourth one, and then he put his arms up for me to hold him. But the point is that that's part of his development, right? You know, physically and mentally, like thinking, okay, so my muscles are growing, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting smarter. I see this little brick thing here. Mommy and Dad are teaching me to climb up things and climb down things, right? So what can I do to further my strength, to further my coordination, my athleticism, my instincts, you know? So he's like, here, let's see if I can just, you know, and he, first one he did himself, and I was very proud of him. So that's what I mean by impact on early development, you know. Like I said in my last podcast, always be there for your child, pay attention to their cues, always make sure you're going out of your way to let them know that you're there. So anyway, let's read on. Findings from the rapidly growing science of early childhood and early brain development show the positive lifelong impact fathers can have by being positively engaged early in their child's life. So, the relationship between child and father can be equally as important as the child's relationship with the mother at early stages of development. Father involvement is related to positive health outcomes in infants, such as improved weight gain in preterm infants and improved breastfeeding rates. What's worse is the absence of fatherhood engagement in the early years of child's life has lasting effects. This is true. So the absence of an involved father figure hinders development from early infancy throughout childhood and into adulthood. The truth is there are psychological effects on the absence of a father figure for children that will persist throughout the rest of their lives. As you all know, like I've said before, I've had a lot of father figure influences like Phil and just all the men around my life, my uncles, even my cousins. And then, my mom met John, then they got married, and then, sadly got frontal lobe dementia, passed away. So it's not like I've never had influences in my life or a father figure, which is always a good thing that I have. And that's why I take value in the fact that I even had people around to show me what it's like to be a gentleman, be a man, how to be a good person, how to treat others right, how to work hard, how to just be a real person, and how to, basically show me what it's like to be a man. I keep repeating myself, but literally, work hard for your family. Love your family. Love who you are. make sure that you do everything right by your wife, by your child. Make sure that you're bringing in a good income. Make sure you've got a good job. And what I'm saying is that, what I'm getting at is that anything that you can do as a father that you've been raised to do, that you can put upon your child, maybe even make them better than yourself. Sounds crazy enough, but it's true. Go ahead and do it. Because you never really know what they're going to become. And, as a parent, you always want your kid to be the best thing that they can be once they grow up, right? So, I'm just saying. So, gender-specific benefits. This might actually kind of go into detail more of what I was just saying. Who knows? I don't know. This is a first read for me as it is with you guys. So, this will be special for all of us. So, when it comes to the topic of fatherhood engagement, it is natural to assume that this role has more of an impact on the development of boys versus girls, but that isn't the case. The involvement of a father figure has unique, but nevertheless proven impacts on both sexes. Or maybe it won't really relate to what I'm saying. We'll see. So, for example, for young boys, father engagement reduces the frequency of behavioral problems while also decreasing delinquency and economic disadvantages in low-income families. For girls and young women, father engagement reduces psychological problems and likelihood of depression. Isn't that pretty interesting? You know what? To me, the first part makes sense. I don't have a daughter, and if I did, I'm pretty sure that part would actually make a lot more sense to me as well. But I don't have a daughter, so I guess we'll just keep reading on and seeing like what it says, or see. So here's the thing: is that like when I tell you I'm giving my advice on this podcast here, I'm giving my advice on what it's like to be a father from having a boy's perspective, having a little boy, right? But if I had a daughter, I could totally tell you a different perspective of what it's like to have a daughter. But I don't have one, and maybe one day if my wife decided not to have another child, if we have a daughter, then I'll definitely know more of what this part's talking about. So everything that I give my advice on or that I talk about when it comes to father's perspective, it's mainly on having a boy, obviously. So anyway, in the same way, having both a mother and father figure assists a child in obtaining a more balanced and well-rounded development, whether they are male or female. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, studies consistently show mothers and fathers have different styles of playing and communicating. Okay, yeah, which both play unique but vital roles in child development, for example. So yeah, my wife and I, she's more cute and silly and fun and like watches him do stuff, and then I'll do stuff with him, but I'm more interactive. Like I'll actually get physical with him, as in like I'll do the same thing he's doing, or like when we play or roughhouse, or I like tickle him and stuff like that. But she's more like huggy and sweet. I mean, of course, I love my boy. I love him so much. I'm so sweet on him. But like you want to teach him how to be like tough but sweet. Like a father would, like a father's supposed to do. And my wife just shows him how to be sweet and have manners and things like that, as do I. So I'm teaching him to be a gentleman, but also be a boy, but also I got to be like tough but soft. And then she's teaching him how to be like cute and gentle and sweet. And I definitely know for a fact that seeing the dynamic of how we're both raising him is making a huge impact. It helps a lot. Just like this is pretty much saying, so let's see. Okay, so for example, fathers promote more exploratory, independent behavior on the part of their young children and also engage them in more physical and stimulating play than What did I just say? What did I just say, right? I mean, come on now. So when speaking to young children, mothers are more likely to simplify the words and speak on the child's level. Fathers speak in ways that stretch and challenge their child's language competency. I guess I would say we both talk to him the same way. Like I'm cooey with him. I'm like, hey, little buddy, he's my little boo boo, and things like that. And she is too. But we'll also have a straight conversation with him. Like, really? No way. You didn't say. So like, we talk to him sometimes like he's an adult. So that way he gets that development of, okay, like they're cooing, but they're also showing me like this is a sentence, this is an actual word. It's not all mushy gushy, which obviously you want to do because you love your child. You know, you want to be cute and playing silly with them, but you also want to show them, hey, like these are words. This is consonants. This is sounds. This is a vowel. This is a verb. But this is, English. I was okay at English in school, as you can see. I'm very articulate, but I don't remember all the different words and things like that, or terminologies, whatever you want to say it. But anyway, so let's see. When it comes to discipline, mothers are more likely to exhibit warmth and reasoning. With their preschools, and fathers tend to be more strict and demanding. See, that's the only difference, is that if I ever have to get strict with him, I always follow it up with something sweet, right? So that he knows that I'm not really angry or mad at him, because like I can be disciplinary, but I'm not like a mean dad. I don't see any reason to be mean to my child or really yell at him, at all. I would never hit him either or anything like that, obviously. So I guess you could say an example is like one time he smacked me kind of hard because we played kung fu, and I was like, hey, and I didn't yell. I said, hey, I was very stern. I said, don't hit daddy. Be soft. We can play hit. We can be soft, but don't hit hard. And he was kind of like this. I said, it's okay. And then I immediately gave him a bunch of hugs and kisses and said, I love you. You're not in trouble. You're okay. It's fine. It's okay, buddy. Like, you didn't know. You're still growing. You're still developing. And me loving on him and me kissing him, me telling him it's okay, he immediately got all cute and happy again. So, like, I guess you could say in a way that's me disciplining him, I guess, by, like, being stern, by saying, hey, we don't hit hard, we play soft. We soft to hit. We don't, like, actually hit hard. And that's my way of disciplining him, and, but then also turning it around and being soft and letting him know, like, everything's okay. Because you got to have that balance of letting your kid know they did wrong, but letting them know that mistakes happen and no one's perfect. I feel like those parents who stay mad at their child to discipline them too hard, I'm just saying whenever those kids come back, like, resenting them a little bit, that might be their fault. I'm just putting it out there again. Every parent is different. Who am I to say, how to raise your child? Because, but what I'm saying is that that's just my opinion. As a father, as how I want to raise my boy to be the best version that he can be of himself. And I think my wife and I are doing a pretty darn good job from what everyone's been saying, Anyway, so in summary, exposure to different yet complementary styles of parenting helps prepare a child for a variety of experiences outside the home, including future relationships. So improved relationships later on in life. People with actively involved father figures during childhood are more likely to have a strong, lasting marriage. Whereas children who have underdeveloped relationships within the confines of their own home are susceptible to having difficulty developing productive, healthy relationships for the rest of their lives. I'm going to read that to myself one more time. People with that. Right. Yeah. So, whereas children who are... So for me, like, little examples, like, I can see the way that my wife looks at me when I play with Jack, the when I take care of him, the way I love on him, and her smile and her look, the way she looks at me means everything, because I want to be there to let her know that, hey, daddy's here, your husband's here, to take care of our little one, like, because I love her that much. So that's what, to me, that's like kind of what they mean. Like, that's why, pardon me, I feel like our marriage is lasting so long. It's not just because I'm taking care of her, but I'm taking care of the life that we created together. You know what I'm saying? So and my wife knows how I feel about her, so I have no doubt that our marriage is going to last a lifetime. Matter of fact, we're about to come up on our 3-year anniversary, so there you go. It says, whereas children have undeveloped relationships with the confines of their home are just having difficulty. I do feel sorry for those children who do not have a loving family or loving connection with their family, because it is sad, And I do feel like it is harder for them to cope with things in life, or have meaningful relationships, because they don't have that love connection. And that's why I say it's always so important to always show your child love, no matter what. Let them know they mean the world to you. What's wrong with that? You brought them into this world for a reason, right? You want to love them. You want to show them that you care about them. So why don't you do it? I'm just saying. I mean, duh, you should. This is kind of an obvious given. Oh, but I'm just putting it out there. So let's see. Research show that high levels of father involvement are correlated with higher levels of sociability, confidence, and self-control in children. Children with involved fathers are less likely to act out in school or engage in risky behavior in adolescence. So, yeah, that's true. I mean, I still went out and had my fun and hung out with friends and did my thing, whatever, which, makes sense. But it also makes sense as to what they're saying here as well, because even though I was mainly raised by my mom, because of my fatherly influences around me, I knew right from wrong. I knew how to be an adult at a young age. I knew how to be mature. I knew how to talk to adults. I got along better with some adults better than I did people in my own age group. So even when I was out partying or having fun with my friends, no matter what happened, I always knew to not be dumb or stupid or do anything out of my own character or do something that would get me in trouble with law enforcement or anything dumb like that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that because of that, I was raised right. I was raised to be a good person. I was raised to be a gentleman. I was raised to treat others right. You've heard me going on about this. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that I'm very lucky and very fortunate, and I thank God every day that I have my father when he was around. I have Phil, that he's still around, and I thank God that they're around on top of everyone else I mentioned, like my uncles and even my male cousins were around. Because what I'm saying is that every influence I've had male wise has always taught me a valuable lesson in life, even if it's just a sentence I've had with one of them. You know what I'm saying? Some of those sentences, they stick up here. So if you have a chance to be a father figure to someone, especially when they're in dire need, talk to them, be that father figure, because you never know how much of a lasting impact that can have. You really don't, if you think about it. I mean, I'm just putting that out there. I mean, because again, not bragging, but look how I turned out. I think my life is pretty darn good right now. Just saying. So, in turn, fatherhood engagement impacts professional and career-based relationships as well as personal ones. So, here's another section, better chances for success. The learning in the early years of a child's life up through elementary school, middle school, and high school are vastly impacted by the engagement they have with their father. In fact, studies have shown that children with actively involved fathers are 43% more likely to earn A's in school and 33% less likely to repeat a grade than those without engaged dads. Wow. I had no idea. Let's keep reading. Hold on. Furthermore, when dads are involved at school, either through engaging with students in the classroom or interacting with teachers, faculty, or other parents, their children learn more and perform better in school, exhibit healthier behavior, are likely to participate in extracurricular activities, have fewer discipline problems, and overall enjoy school more. So, it's because you want your kid to look up to you, you want them to say, oh, my dad's a very sophisticated person, he's very well spoken, he's very mature. People look up to him, and they really like him, they respect him, and he's loved by a lot of people. So what can I do to live up to that? What can I do to make myself better? What can I do to, as his child, as his son or daughter, to make sure people look at me the same way, So that's why through my social media, I'm always trying to keep things positive. I don't try to do anything bad or controversial or negative, and that's why I don't get any negative feedback. I'm not perfect, but I mean, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I don't want controversy. I don't want negativity. I don't want negative feedback. I don't want bad comments. So that's why I still post what I post, but I'm as careful as I can be so I can protect my image and the image of my family and myself within the confines of that, if that makes any sense, right? So what I'm getting at here is always make sure that you are a father that your kids can be proud of. That's another thing. But besides wanting to do that for your child, you should want your child to look up to you and be like, you know what? Even if I don't follow my dad's footsteps, I'm going to prove to him and prove to mom and prove to the family that I can live up to what he's done for me as a father, or even live up to mom. I'm just saying, because I always try to live up to what my dad has shown me, what he's taught me. And as of right now, I would say that I am. In my opinion, I feel like I am. I've got a long way to go. Everything's a journey. You can't become a social media star overnight. Duh. But that's why I keep working hard at what I do. Besides being a security officer, which I I love doing very much. Oh man. Sometimes when I get excited or I talk a little bit too fast, but I've been known to do that. So when I talk too fast, I tend to stumble over my words with my tongue. Sorry about that. So anyway, let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah. And this trend only continues as the child moves further into adulthood and towards their independent future. Children who experience feelings of closeness with their father are twice as likely as those who do not. Children who experience feelings of closeness with their father are twice as likely as those who do not. There we go. I mixed up my words again. Enter college or find stable employment after high school. 75% less likely to have a teen birth. 80% less likely to spend time in jail. Wow. And half as likely to experience multiple depression symptoms. Again, proven by or said by the Fatherhood Project. Excuse me. A little gassy. Oh, sorry. It is truly a ripple effect. Other research indicates that fatherhood engagement promotes self-problem skills, which can translate to school and career settings. Right. So, I would say that basically everything I just said kind of ties into that, like this is why you always want to be that good influence on your child so that way they can grow and develop, like it's saying right here, I think that just kind of said it for us right there, honestly. So let's read on, and then after this, I'm gonna probably wrap things up. It's been about close to 30 minutes already, and I've been talking for a while now. So I kind of like to do like quick, fast podcasts and video or audio. There for about 30 minutes or so. Don't get me wrong, doing an hour would be great. But, nobody wants to hear me babble on for 30 minutes, right? I mean, I talk too much enough as it is. You can ask my friends, what? Who said that? Anyway. Excuse me. So, let's see. So, part of this trend stems from the authoritative influence that the child experiences by having a father figure. In an ideal scenario, the father figure is able to use an authoritative parenting style, including love in combination, there we go, with clear boundaries and expectations. Just like me saying, we soft, no hitting hard, exactly, right? And then giving him love right away. What did I just say? So, to motivate a child to success and instill them in successful habits and desires. Overall, father involvement, there we go, usually leads to better emotional, academic, social, and behavioral outcomes for children. Okay, guys. So, we're going to end things there. So, next one is general happiness and positive outlook. I really like this website. It's allforkids.org. Really good website so far. Just like that other one that we looked at previously. So, anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video podcast, and thank you all so much to everyone who also listened to the audio podcast as well. Again, I think the audio podcast might sound a little bit different because of the fact that, I've noticed that the speaker or the microphone sounds different or comes out different than it does on my laptop, than it does here when I have it plugged into my phone and I'm using the speaker app on my phone. But I wanted to do both a video and audio podcast because, like I said, it's been a long time since I've done that. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much again for listening and watching. If you need a marketer or advertiser or a martial arts coach and you live in St. Louis, please let me know. Please contact me. I love you all so much. This has been Coburn C. Capshaw / at Mr. Smiles a Lot with yet another Let's Talk Media LLC video and audio podcast. I am officially signing off, and I love you guys, and I'll see you all next time.